All righty. Let's start this all over again. And let's go. We got Mr. Will all damn day in here with us on High Standards TV. Like I said before, you'll see in the previous clip once I edit this. Amazing guy. He's even being real patient with me right now, trying to make all this work. And like I was already nervous from the jump, and just everything going awry like that just started applying more pressure.
Yes, sir. Nah, no worries, man. No worries. Growing pains, right? It's your first time doing this, so we got to get that out of the way.
Yes, sir. All right, let's start. Let's get back into it. How you got acclimated to the lifestyle of the schedule and what it costs for you to be able to be wrestling the way you are.
Man, the way I get acclimated is just repetition, just getting on the road and doing it over and over and over again. That's the only way to get acclimated to this type of lifestyle. I mean, it's tough. It's real tough, especially if you got people at home waiting on you, kids, dogs, wives, or wife. Good on you if you got two. But no, it's tough, man. It's when I wake up, I work out first thing in the morning. I hit the road. I get to the venue. I get my marching orders from the venue. If they're ready, sometimes I'm sitting there waiting for hours to figure out what I'm even doing, who I'm even wrestling. Then you get out there, you get all warmed up, you get your 15 minutes of fame out there in front of the fans. Maybe you sell some merch afterwards, and then you get back on the road again and to the next town. So there's nothing really to prepare you for that except to just do it and do it over and over and over again until you find more efficient ways to do things for yourself. Everybody's different, but for me, I found my little rhythm, and I've been smooth sailing ever since.
That's good. That's good. When did you first fall in love with wrestling? What age and what? I guess you could say what match that made you just say this is it for me. I'm watching this. I'm getting into this.
Man, I think it was WrestleMania 14 was the one I picked up from Blockbuster. That was the one that was on the shelf. Me, my dad, and my brother went, and every weekend we would go pick out a movie and a game. And it just so happened that I saw Mike Tyson and Stone Cold Steve Austin and the Heartbreak Kid Shawn Michaels on the cover of that wrestling video, the VHS tape that they had back then, and I scooped that, and that was my first introduction, and I fell in love ever since. And I've been a Stone Cold Steve Austin guy ever since then. I'm a Texas guy. Both those guys are Shawn Michaels and Stone Cold. But I got a lot of Texas pride. I got a lot of intensity. I got a lot of grit, and I got a lot of angst hidden behind these eyes. So, he was just the perfect fit for me. And, I never looked back. I always thought it was like one of the coolest things in the world. Not just the physicality. I loved that. I've been an athlete my whole life, but the pageantry behind it, the build up, the real emotion that goes into something like this.
We'll definitely get more in touch with those Texas roots in a little bit because we got a lot we could talk about with that.
Yeah.
My I think the first time I fell in love with wrestling, I know the first match that I saw was my best friend Chris invited me over to his house. We was in fifth grade by then, I believe, either fifth or sixth. It might have been sixth, but he invited me over to watch the Royal Rumble 2005,
Yeah.
and that was the first time I ever actually sat down and paid attention to wrestling. It's not that I didn't know what it was, but it was like this. I have a reason to actually sit down and watch it now. My friend told
Right.
me to come over and watch it, and from there I fell in love. Just he had to tell me who everybody was, and then after that I had to go
Right.
on my own and research. But that was the first time I ever saw it, and just years later realizing that the the way it ended with Batista and John Cena going over the ropes at the same time and just perfectly both falling at the same time was
Yep.
never supposed to be that way. It brought in my eyes more to just, all right, so what more can I learn about wrestling, the ins and out, the odd jobs and all that good stuff. And that's what really set off my love for wrestling right there.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a kernel of reality there, and that's really what hooks people is when they can't tell if something's real or scripted. And a lot of what we do is real. The physicality is very real. Every time I hit the mat, it doesn't feel good. I promise you, it's not a trampoline. You know, it's steel and wood. There's a reason why it makes that sound. It's unforgiving, honestly, and you know, allowing fans to kind of pull the curtain back a little bit, I think has helped. But when we go out there and the real magic of what we do is not allowing you to know, you know, what's real and what's not. And I think that's what really separates great performers.
Speaking of performing, I think the first time I saw you, and I remember this vividly because there was a lot that went on that day for me because I've never been to an actual AEW, TNA, or WWE show. I want to one day, but I haven't yet. But it was a show going on in Virginia in Richmond, UEW, and a friend of mine had invited me over to there, and I didn't know who all was going to be there at all. He didn't even let me see what was going on down there. But I remember that he told me Will Allday was going to be there, and I said, okay, all right. I'm not sure who that is, but you're speaking very highly of him. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Okay. And I saw you wrestle, and I was like, I could definitely say, like, performance wise, I was taken away to the point that when I saw your name on Instagram, I remembered.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Good. Good. That
remembered.
means I made a good first impression. And that's what I try to do. You know, I don't ever try to take a day off. Every time I'm out there, no matter if it's 100 people or 10,000 people, you know, I try to give the same performance to every single person that's there and paying a ticket to see the show or to see Will Allday. I don't want, you know, somebody's friend going back and being like, ah, yeah, he was all right. You know, I want to put my best foot forward and give you everything I got every single time. I want the guys who have seen me before, telling their friends about me to also, you know, be excited that I'm putting on a show every time that they come out. So that's good to hear because that's what I strive for.
Yes, sir. Now I noticed that you're wearing that hat, and I seen the clip.
Hmm.
I'm not too sure how many people have seen the clip, but I've seen the clip.
Yeah.
Um, tell us all about that hat, because I'm for those who haven't seen the clip or knows of where it came from. I would like for you to tell the story to them.
Man, well, I'm a Texas guy, right? And I got a little bit of cowboy in me, and you know, it's not the like traditional cowboy. I'm not on the ranch. I'm not wrangling cows. I'm not out there baling hay. You know, I'm from Houston, Texas, so it's all hat, no cow here. But you know, I've just kind of grown up in that cowboy way. That's hard work. That's respecting people, respecting your elders. It's doing things the right way. It's being honest. It's being authentic. It's having that little like Southern hospitality as well. But on the back end of that, you know, if you want to F around, you know, you're going to find out. And that's what real cowboys do. You know, real cowboys handle business. And I'm going to handle business the Will Allday way, and that's kicking somebody's ass. And so I think that translated. And I was on a few shows with JBL, and I think I got the ringing endorsement, him handing me a black cowboy hat. Now this is the same hat that he handed me. It's not going to stay this way forever. Obviously, you see, you know, my jackets, my gear, my boots. There's a lot of bling to it. So,
Oh
you
yeah.
know, this hat's going to get a makeover of some sort when I wear it out to the ring. But as of right now, I'm pretty happy keeping it black. You know, it's only been a few days, but I have that endorsement from, you know, a Texas Cowboy in JBL, WWE Hall of Famer. It's pretty cool. You know, it kind of solidifies my thought process, and you know, I think I'm embracing it. You know, I always felt like a little bit of a rock star, but I always felt like a cowboy too. And now we're melding those two together. Um, and so, you know, we'll see what the evolution of Will Allday becomes. But right now, it's a pretty surreal feeling.
I can understand it being a surreal feeling. Right now, it seems like you have, you know, everything down as far as the move set, the endurance, the psychology that comes with wrestling, the ins and out and everything, and just who you are when it comes to your place and your spot in the industry itself, not just like, you know, WWE indies or anything like that. Just when it comes to the wrestling industry itself, you have found who you are, and it definitely shows when do you feel like you had everything down? Like, I'm pretty sure in the beginning somebody probably tried to compare you to this, that, and the third, or said that you remind them of them. But when did you realize that this is me? I don't refer myself to anybody else in any way.
Well, to get to the base of that question, I think that anybody who gets in, well, I'd say most people who get in, they're a fan, and I just happen to be a fan of a few certain guys, and I think that's pretty normal that when you get in, you kind of emulate the people that you watch getting there, your mentors or your heroes or your favorites, right? And so you do some of the same moves that they do. You walk some of the same walks that they do. But it comes to a certain point where you do have to evolve, and you don't want to be somebody else, and you just want to be you. And like you're saying, I had to find that. And that comes with repetition, that comes with comfortability, that comes with me being able to get in the ring and to be comfortable being Will Allday, because that's something that's tough to do for anybody, especially when they're in front of hundreds of people or thousands of people. So I think, man, I want to say probably like a year and a half in, I think I really found my stride, and that was just being authentic to me. It was going out there and not trying to be some sort of character or something I wasn't. It was going out there and instead of trying to be a pro wrestler, I was just being Will Allday, and that translated to everybody in the crowd. I feel like the more I was myself, the louder the reactions got, the more support I got, and that's because people can get behind you if you believe in what you're doing, and they're not going to get behind you if you don't believe in what you're doing. And that goes with a lot of things throughout life. And I just realized that, the more authentic I was, just the better I was, the more reaction I got, the more support I got, the more confident I was. And it just started snowballing from there.
All right, all right. So from that point till now, who would you say has been a rival of some sorts, or either a rival or like your biggest match up to date?
Probably Booker T. Probably Booker T. At Reality or Wrestling, he was one of my biggest supporters in the beginning, and then he kind of turned on me, and so him and I had butted heads for years, and it ended with me getting in the ring with him, me giving him a little autograph, I like to call it. That's what I call when I put my boot right underneath your chin.
Yeah.
And it knocks you out for at least 3 seconds, mostly longer. But yeah, like it came to blows. There's a lot of angst there. There was a lot of attention there for quite a while. And I think that really helped me hit another level, is just going up against a guy, the master, really, the guy who's a 2-time Hall of Famer, the guy who's a 6-time world champion. You learn a lot from that guy, being on his side and being up against him. And so I'd say that, that probably helped me develop the furthest, because I didn't want to just wrestle to be a wrestler. I wanted to be in the main event. I want to be at the top of the card. I wanted to be the best in the world. And I still believe I can be that. I still believe I'm close to doing that. It just takes the right eyes at the right time to get there. But, Booker T always says the best form of luck is preparation. You bet your ass I'm prepared every single time I step through those ropes.
It shows every time you come through those ropes, man. Definitely. So let's get on to those Texas roots. I have here, let's see, where are we at with this one? This one right here.
Yeah.
I feel like you take a lot. I feel like out of all the titles, from watching your work, this one you take the most pride in.
Yeah.
What do you feel about anyone else who has carried that title? And do you feel like at this point in time, you're taking the title the title's prestige and everything that it means and what it represents to you and everybody from Texas? Are you taking that to its next level?
I think so. I think so. You know, there's a ton of Texas titles around, and you know, every promotion wants a Texas title because they have that Texas pride too. It's not just me. This is just the real Texas heavyweight title. This is the one that has the same lineage as the Von Erichs, as world class wrestling. You go to Wikipedia and look up the Texas Heavyweight Championship, and you see Will Alday's name down there at the bottom. You know, I've held it for well over a year. I plan on holding it for a hell of a lot longer than that. I go all over the country defending it as well. It's not just a championship I defend in Texas. It's a championship I defend and take pride in taking that elsewhere. And you know that the championship belt is something that people are going to realize that I'm bringing Texas with me. Also, this whole hat now that I got is a little more Texas that I'm bringing with me. And I think it's pretty cool being a part of history with that championship. I think, you know, it's something that I take pride in being a Texan, but it's also something I take pride in being a wrestling fan. You know, having my name in the same realm as those guys who have held it before me, I think is a very, very cool stat. It's one of the few belts that I have up in my office. You know, I've held a ton of them, but there's only two that I really hold in such high esteem, and that's the Reality of Wrestling Heavyweight Championship and the Texas Heavyweight Championship. And those are two belts that mean more to me than just the belt itself, than just a championship. There's a lot of history in both of those, and you know, I take pride in knowing that I've elevated both of those.
Who is the current Reality of Wrestling champion now, and do you see yourself getting back towards the title picture of that anytime soon?
It's Zilla Fatu now, and you know, I'm not first in line right now. I've had a hell of a long feud with Terrell Tempo that I just finished and just overcame that. And I thought I was going to go and fight for that, but you know, there's a guy named Danny Limelight who jumped in my way, and he did something pretty dastardly, to be quite honest with you. I got a fake tooth here now.
Ooh,
because Danny Limelight took liberties in the ring. You know, he didn't do it like he said he was going to do it. He told me he was a better wrestler, that he was a better man, but what we really found out is he was just a bitch. And I'm going to see him this weekend, and he's going to be in for a hell of an ass whooping. And I'm going to call it a Texas-size ass whooping because, you know, I like to do things the right way in the confines of the squared circle. But, you know, there's a couple people here this year that have just really tried to test my boundaries and push me to new limits. And if they want to see what Will Alday's capable of, you know, you see what I can do in the ring with rules. Without rules, you're going to see a whole new side of Will Alday, and that's going to be something that I can't wait for people to see, because somebody like Danny Limelight is going to get what he deserves. And you'll see that this Saturday night.
That's one hell of a receipt that he sounds like he's about to cash in.
Yep. Yeah, he can talk his ass off, but he can't walk the walk that Will Alday walks. So he's about to find that out real quick.
Damn right. Let's talk about some of that walk that Will Alday walks. I found a picture online that seems like you were in the belt collector series at that point.
Yeah, that was probably like 2 years in. I was going all over Texas, betting on myself, essentially not staying in the confines of my Reality Wrestling Academy. That's fresh out of like training, and you know, I wasn't really given a chance here yet because I was a new guy. So I didn't sit and bitch and moan. I didn't cry. I didn't like have this woe is me attitude. I just had okay, I'm going to bet on Will Alday. You're going to see, you know, you're going to realize like what everybody else realizes. You're going to find out. And so I went all over Texas, betting on myself, and you obviously see the outcome of that. And then, you know, Booker T sees the outcome of that and starts saying that, okay, we need this guy. This is somebody that we need to hitch our wagon to. And he did. And look where we are now.
Came quite a mighty way.
Yes, sir.
A lot of belts, a lot of accolades, a lot of time put in that's definitely paid off. That I mean, I can definitely see it, and I would hope that everybody else who was a fan, and maybe not even a fan, but just they're they're finally catching on to who Will Alday is. I would hope they would be able to see that too, because it's quite an amazing story and it's quite an amazing run. Whether you have a title on you or not, the run that you has had is incredible. I've actually enjoyed sitting down and just watching it as I was getting myself prepared for this interview. Between watching interviews and watching your matches and everything, it just made me feel like, wow. I feel like I personally missed out a lot in the past couple of years when I didn't know too much about you to
Yeah.
what I know now. I feel like, okay, I really missed out. Like, I gotta make sure that I keep him on my radar because
Yeah.
he's great. He's amazing. I'm actually surprised that you haven't been picked up by developmental in no type of way like NXT or any sort of way like that. But I can
Yeah.
definitely,
I don't make those calls, brother. If I did, that's where I want to be. That's what I'm shooting for. But it's a timing thing. It's a right place, right time, right eyes thing, and it sucks that you can't just be so damn good at your job that they wanna pick you up and give you a chance. It's it's something that I have no control over, so I'm not gonna sit here and wallow in my pity. I'm gonna do what I always do, and that's bet on Will Alday, and that's gonna take myself everywhere else and do the things that I want to do. And if things come to me after that, then that's great. But if not, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing, and that's being the best damn version of me that I can be.
I can definitely see you getting picked up to be either. I can honestly see either promotion picking you up, and that all, like you said, it really comes with time. And I wouldn't sit and sulk in it either. Not with the talent that you have and everything that you bring to the ring. Like, any company would honestly be lucky to have you on their roster, flagship, leading it, all that good stuff. Like, you,
Thanks, brother.
it's the total package for me. It's a lot of people that don't really have that. Like, some people might need mic work, or some people might need to get their in ring abilities up and like be more safer. Might not hurt nobody, no botching or anything like that. Or some people just need to get their gimmick down. But with you, it's not even a gimmick. It's literally chef's kiss organic. Like, you can't pick that out of nobody. You can't teach that. That's literally coming from you and your experiences, who you are, where you've been, where you're going. There's no way to teach that.
Yeah, and I think that again just comes from trial and error. It comes from repetition. It comes from doing the work. It comes from like busting your ass every single day. It comes from like being exhausted at the end of every day and getting up and doing it all over again, knowing that you're doing things the right way and knowing that you're being the best version of yourself. And that's where your confidence comes in, is being prepared for every opportunity and knowing that no matter what's put in front of me, I'm going to knock it down, and I'm going to knock it down with style, with panache, and I'm going to make sure that you remember the name all damn day, Will Alday. Every time I go through that rope, you may not know it if I'm in a new place before I get there, but as soon as I'm done, you bet your ass that you're going to remember that name.
Damn right. All right, let's take a second to just kind of be fans for a second of the
Yeah.
great sport. If you had a dream match, first we'll do dream match with whoever isn't with us anymore. God rest their soul.
Okay.
If you could have got a match with them in the state of you're in right now, we could say you're prime, but I feel like there's still so much more that you have to offer before we even call it prime.
Yeah,
Who would that person be?
I'd say you're probably going to have to go with probably Macho Man. I think Macho Man would be awesome. I think especially now with my hat, we'd be matching a little bit. But once we get in the ring, I feel like that's somebody who has my same style, my same thought process. The way he prepares for his matches is very similar to mine, and he goes out there with such an intensity that it's going to make me keep up. I pride myself on my intensity in the ring. I've been an athlete my whole life, so I've been a competitive MFer for decades, and I've always been striving to be the best at every single thing that I do, and I feel like that's something that he did as well. And so the competition to just wanted to be the best with a guy like that, I think could only spark magic.
I would love to see that. That would have been crazy. That
Yeah.
would That would have been insane. So
Yeah,
in the modern day, and we're gonna exclude Booker T because I feel like Booker T would be a good, easy answer to go to for a
yeah,
dream match.
yep.
Who else would it be?
Man, I think you got to go. Retired wrestlers, I'd have to go Steve Austin. I mean, I would love to go toe to toe with Steve Austin and jump in the ring with him. I think I'd fangirl out, actually. But in ring competitors, two different styles. I'd go with AJ Styles and I'd go with John Cena. I'd go with John Cena for big match capability. I think being in the ring with John Cena just puts anybody on a different level. It's going to elevate anybody's game being in there. And then from an in-ring standpoint, it doesn't get any better than AJ Styles. You know,
That'd be
from
crazy.
it'd be incredible. It'd be a technical standpoint. It'd be a like intensity standpoint. From a style standpoint, I just think he is probably the greatest in-ring performer of all time. I think he is just exactly what his moniker states, truly phenomenal.
I could see both of y'all pulling out all the stops in that match. That
Yeah,
match would, wow, that'd be
yeah,
good.
yeah. I agree.
I can imagine somebody doing that on 2K25. Have you seen yourself created on 2K25 yet?
Yeah, I saw a couple people create Will All Day on there. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
I can imagine like that. That would just make me feel like, okay, people like me enough to want to make me and put me in this game and play it. That's
Yeah,
what's up.
yeah. That's pretty cool feeling. Very, very cool. Not official yet, but very cool that people take the time out of their day to do that. That doesn't, it doesn't happen quickly.
Have they got it? Have they gotten everything just right? Because I know on sometimes when they create people, they might miss a few things.
I don't know. I don't play video games, unfortunately, so I don't have like a system or the game. I couldn't tell you. I saw a picture of it like on Instagram, and it looks good. Looks good so far.
But I play. It has my soul. I'm gonna find it on there and see if I can find the best looking one and send it to you.
Yeah, you should, brother.
As we wrap this up, because I don't want to keep you all day. Um, no pun intended. Where do you see yourself going in the next couple of years? I already know you going all damn day, and I know that you want to be the best in the world. But within the next couple of years, where are you trying to have your feet set at?
Man, I don't know. Wherever the wind takes me, honestly, I have no control over that. You want to be I want to be on the highest mountain at the highest peak. But whatever it takes to get there. If it takes climbing these smaller mountains to get to where I want to be, then so be it. But I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing, man. And that's putting out the best product I can. That's being the best version of myself, and hopefully other people follow along.
I know they will. And where's your next match going to be for people who are looking to see where your next match is going to be?
Man, I got Reality of Wrestling the second Saturday of every month. I'm always doing their show once a month, Platinum. That's their main brand. It's where the top stars go. That's where Will Alday is going to be. You can find me every second Saturday in Texas City. I'm also going up to Alaska here in June for a few shows. Then I'm going to do some lucha shows. I'm wrestling Samurai del Sol, formerly known as Kalisto, here in downtown Houston in July. I'm doing Inspire in Austin downtown, July 6th. So if you just keep up with me on my social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, it's I am Mr. All Day, just like it sounds, all day. You can find where I'm going to be and keep up with me that way too.
Bet that. Is there a site where I can purchase that shirt?
Hit me up on Instagram. I'm getting a t-shirt site getting up and going here, hopefully in the next couple months. But as of right now, I'm just doing them at shows and I'm mailing them to people who hit me up directly.
All right, definitely. I'll definitely talk
Yeah.
with you behind the scenes about that. I gotta get me one of those shirts.
Yeah, you
But
do. Yes, you do.
I thank you so much for coming on with me, and I apologize again for in the beginning stages how it just was messing up and everything. But
No
we
need.
got through it.
Yep.
We was able to make it happen, and I'm very honored to have you as my first, and I would love to have you back on again the
Yep.
next time that your schedule permits it. Because as we know just now, you are very busy, and I know you're gonna always be busy, but that's a good thing for you.
Yes, sir. It is. Yes, sir. It is. I can't stand sitting there with nothing to do. So even when I got nothing to do, I'm looking for something. So I I appreciate you having me on, man. It's been nice popping your cherry.
Oh man, you're great, bro. You are
Thanks,
great.
brother.
Much love to you, much respect, and all praise goes to you. Good luck in your upcoming matches. I'll definitely be looking out for those clips and all that good stuff. And I hope the rest of the day goes well for you, bro. God bless you.
Thank you, brother, man. All glory to God. Thank you, Mom, and I'll see you down the road.
I'll see you down the road, man. Thank you so much.
See you, brother.